In this video, we're going to be checking out some old, some old hydraulic sluice pits that haven't been completely mined out, looking at the edges of them. So we'll get some samples and see if there's any gold in them. I've been meaning to explore this area for a while, but now that I'm here, I didn't realise how massive it is. There's this huge pit down here. It's a good 5 meters deep. And if you can see up on the edges there, it's all sorts of alluvial material in the bank up there. And if you look closer to home, you can see there's all gravelly stuff here. But it's incredibly rough, overgrown with all sorts of terrain. So kids, how spiky is the gorse there?
Not that spiky.
Not that spiky? Oh, you'll find it spiky.
Come on, Dad.
So, because we've got Ādward in the car, we can't sort of stay here too long. But I think we might just grab a couple of buckets and then take them down to the river and do some panning. So this hole is a lot more accessible, and it looks like there's a white clay they've dug down to here, but over there there's bedrock. And that looks like a pile of material that's been processed, they've gone through. But that layer looks more natural, sort of the edge of the bottom layer with the alluvial material up. So I think that, because it's so easy to get to, we'll dig a bucket of that. We've got this real flat pan. What's in this wall over here? This looks like it could be unprocessed material. Stuff they've cut into but not continued with. Ugh, what's on the other side? Oh, mine shaft. Yeah, that. Okay, this looks like old scale workings, and that looks like modern. So they've come in there with heavy machinery and just open cut it. Whereas this looks like this is the old timers who've been digging down here, pick and shovel to get to the bottom of this conglomerate layer. Well, not conglomerate layer, I think, because it's actually just gravel. It hasn't actually cemented together. But then over here, over here, holy cow! I don't want to go too close to that edge here because I'm pretty sure it's undercut. Look at that. They've really gone to town in this area. But look at that strata there. You got the base layer, and look at that mineral. That would be cool. That little mineralized patch just there. I wonder if we can get to that. Choices. We've got a crowd of kids here. Got friends of mine from New Zealand who've come over. So I'm going to put the kids to work. The kids, see this orange dirt here? Yeah. What I want you to do is fill that up with this orange stuff and just scrape the layer that's next to the white stuff. See that? And Grayson and I, we're going to go for a more difficult to grab sample.
Here they go.
It's quite steep.
It's quite steep. Someone's saying it's the best shoes for this. So. That's sharp. There you go.
Wow. Easy done. Look at that.
You have to get it.
We're going to bring the camera down.
Bring it down and get a shot of this.
I'm not jumping down there.
No. So that's where I was standing, and as you can see, there's a bit of an overhang. But look at all this material. It's not just gravel; it's also clay. That's some sort of ironstone there. There's a fair bit of it here. Oh, that's heavier. That's a heavy chunk. When we go down further, and then we've got this white clay. And this that looks like beautiful material. Thing is, it's quite an overhang. I don't think it'd be very safe to be digging under here. And then here, this. But then you've got this clay layer, this white clay layer, on top of this other sandy layer. Look at that piece of ironstone there. Interesting. Right, I don't think we need to get anything out of this time. And you want a hard hat if you were going to be, because look at that, these rocks, they're just sitting in the face. Some of them quite big. If they fell on you, it wouldn't be a good day. But anyway, let's get out of here. I'll come back up, but we'll go to Plan A first.
There goes our intrepid explorers. As our intrepid explorers climb up a hill. Yeah. The dog does it with ease because he's got 4 legs. Oh, Harry butlering up the bush. Here they come. Oh, that's it.
Keep filming in case he falls down.
I will, don't worry.
Alright, let's go see how the other kids are doing. Well, this is 𝗏𝗏 and Griffin.
Hi.
And I expected you to have filled that up because you had the easy digging.
Well, maybe we would have if 𝗏𝗏 had helped.
Oh dear. Oh, so it's your gold then.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Alright, fair enough. Well, let's get down to the river and get it soaking.
No, this
'Cause
is
that's-
this is what 𝗏𝗏 did. This is not what I did. That's what you did.
Okay, so
Sit back, break it
traditional fashion, the siblings are arguing. Hey, Lucky, in you get, boy. Come on, jump up. Come on, up. There we go. Oh.
Please stop like that. I'm doing that.
Yeah, give everyone a kiss. Ah. So unfortunately, Carol and Grace and 𝗏𝗏 and Griffin had to leave before we got a chance to process these samples. So you guys are seeing what's in them at the same time as them. So we'll start with the one that the kids did, and it's a real slop. Lots of orange mineralized clay, bleh. But that could be good. I think we'll classify it though, because there's a bit of coarser rock in it. Ideally, I'd use my paint stirrer to give this a good, whip up before doing it. But unfortunately, the kids seem to have put it somewhere. For some reason, it's something that they like to play with. The first thing I'll note is that a lot of these gravels don't look incredibly water worn. So they're quite jagged. Now I'm just going to dump those gravels back in the tub. Get some water in the tub and then use the gravel to scrub the bottom of the tub. Get a nice clean tub. No, nothing. Nothing. Well, let's check the other one. Now in this one, the gravels are much more water worn. But we could see that when we were digging it. Alright, this is really clayey. I'm going to pan this out, but it's so sticky. If there is any fine gold in here, it could just get stuck to these. Well, they're not exactly lumps, but they're kind of just this really thick, kind of gluey material. And every time it's not breaking down very well. But if there's any coarse gold in it, we'll get that. So let's just do a quick check, and I'll leave a finer check for another time. This is just the first 2 samples we got from this area, so we don't need to be. This is just the recce. We can check for super fine gold another time. I'm seeing little red gems, which is encouraging, but not encouraging enough. Not only is this a new site and like a new spot for me, it's also a new creek, so I don't even know what else is in there. Well, I think I'm going to have to call that as a big fat nothing. Because this was a prospecting trip, this is still a success, because I know that well, not so much that I don't go back to that spot, but I don't go back to those particular places where we dug. It does kind of explain though why they stopped where they did, if they stopped finding gold. That area has been blasted out with water cannons. It also explains why we weren't seeing a lot of those little shafts everywhere in the areas that hadn't been subjected to the open cut. because they weren't finding a huge amount there. There's still some things I want to do with this dirt. In particular, there's because those sediments were so thick and the water is now so thick with all the suspended silts and clays and stuff, which increases the viscosity, which means it makes it much harder to pan out the fine gold. I'm going to run this again, but what I'm going to really do is just try and classify it down, so I've just got just the super fines, and then I think I might throw them in my furnace, which I finished building just a little while ago and haven't given it a test run. So the video on that will be coming out soon. Also, I wasn't completely cruel, and I actually took the guys out to another spot, and we did actually find some gold for them. So you want to see that video, that'll be coming up shortly. Catch you guys soon. Bye bye.